Good morning or namaskar. Welcome to Leadership Insights with me, Prashant. Like every week, this week we are back with another interesting topic and another interesting guest. Now, this week we're going to talk about something that's extremely important. And the good thing is that there's a lot of awareness that's getting generated about this topic, and it's much needed. I'm glad that's happening. Because leadership for a very long time has been seen through the sense of power, through the sense of control and authority. ये words है जो leadership के साथ बहुत बार assign किए जाते हैं. But now what I see changing, and that's much needed, is the realization of people that leadership is first emotional and then intellectual. क्योंकि जिनके साथ हम डील कर रहे हैं और जो डील कर रहा है हम और बाकी सारे लोग इंसान ही हैं, राइट? चाहे वो हम हो, हमारे एम्प्लॉइज हो, हमारे कस्टमर्स हो, स्टेक होल्डर्स हो, कोई भी हो। इंसान जब इंसान के साथ डील करता है तो इमोशंस को आप साइड में नहीं रख सकते। इमोशंस कम फर्स्ट एंड देन कम्स इंटेलेक्ट। बट देन द कॉन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट्स मूविंग द डायरेक्शन कि प्रशांत, बिजनेस जो है ना, वो तो प्रॉफिट्स करने के लिए बनाया जाता है। बिजनेस इज बिजनेस, राइट? तो उसमें इमोशंस की जगह कहाँ पे? नाउ दिस इज वेयर वी गो रॉन्ग लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड टुडे. Today, we're going to understand emotional intelligence as a strategic advantage and not just as a soft skill. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसी चीज है कि तो की नहीं की तो नहीं की. How it's important for business as well strategically is what we are going to understand today. And to help us understand that, we have somebody with a lot of experience of almost 4 decades. Our guest today is Mr. Kishore Pariyar, who brings in lifetime of leadership experience into this conversation. He has spent over 4 decades leading with both intellect and heart as well. He is a former regional director at Reserve Bank of India, a seasoned central banker, and now an author and an emotional intelligence advocate. He has represented India in global dialogues with the World Bank, ADB, and the UN, and has been recognized internationally for his human development work. So, without much delay, let's welcome Mr. Kishore. Hello, Mr. Kishore. A very good morning to you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
कैसे हैं आप?
Absolutely fine. Thank you so much for
Great.
this opportunity.
Thank you so much for saying yes to being on this show. I'm so much looking forward to this conversation because the topic is very dear to me, and the amount of experience that you carry and the diverse experience that you carry is immense. So, without putting much time, I would want to dive into the topic and ask you the first question, which is
Okay.
that you've worked in leadership position for decades, like 4 decades, right? So,
Mhm.
according to you, what is the role of emotional intelligence in leadership?
Okay. So before I come to that, I think this is a good question, but I wanted to talk about what is emotional intelligence before that, because then we will be able to connect before I talk about what is role of leadership. So first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's I think it will be learning experience for all of us, including me. And if there are some questions and all, may be able to understand more about the requirement of
Sure.
the people.
Absolutely.
So first, I'll start by saying what is emotional intelligence. Now, see, since you spoke in Hindi, so I may also be using Hindi in between. और और आपने जो ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी उसको आई वुड लाइक टू पे ग्रेटिट्यूड टू यू कि लेट हरिवंश राय जी बच्चन ने कहा था कि उन्हीं के आपके लिए है कि मशहूर होने की ख्वाहिश नहीं है हमें आप हमें जो जानते हो बस मेरे लिए इतना ही काफी है तो आपके माध्यम से
Yeah.
शायद हम कुछ मशहूर हो जाएंगे सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट नाउ कमिंग
Thank
टू
you.
इमोशनल भाई इसका कोर जो है कि वी वर्क in a organization, let everybody feel very comfort and all. So emotional intelligence is your ability to understand your own emotion of the people that you're working with, and channelize the emotion, both your and the other people's, to create a positive outcomes. So I follow Daniel Goleman, who is known to be father of emotional intelligence. तो उन्होंने जो है कि he is has come out with some four key components, which is grouped under two. One is personal competence, the other is social competence. So I'll take one by one very briefly. Now, when we talk about personal competence, the first thing is self-awareness. Um,
Hmm.
Self-awareness means emotional self-awareness, trying to understand one's own emotion. क्या मैं Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I tensed? Trying to understand, and then using that emotion through gut feeling to guide your decision कि क्या मुझे इस समय decision लेना चाहिए? I'm angry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then next is accurate self assessment कि हमारी जो internal strength and weakness है, भाई मेरी जो strength and weaknesses है, I know no one else better than I can know, or maybe my coach would know, but then that is another component of self awareness. Third is self confidence, okay, and that is one's self worth and capabilities. Now, I often use this example when I try to, sum it up. These three, that your emotional self awareness, accurate self assessment, and self confidence. I do not know how many of you watched that movie Sam Bahadur. He's one of my
Hmm.
I emotional intelligent leader, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw. It was in 1971 war. He was under tremendous political pressure, and remember the pressure directly from the honorable prime minister.
Hmm.
The prime minister was impulsive. They wanted to go ahead. He kept calm, and he said one sentence: "If you want victory, madam, give me time." And he said this sentence. His clarity came from his emotional awareness. He knew his readiness. He knew his limits.
Hmm.
That awareness that awareness won the war before it began. So that is
Hmm.
now coming to the next component is self management. भाई आपको पता चल गया कि you're angry, upset, stressed है. Now having done that, now you need to regulate it. Okay, so you have to keep your disruptive emotions, impulse under control. Now how do we do that? Okay, there is an entire lesson on that, and but one of the most effective way is say you're suddenly very angry. Now you know
Hmm.
you have to go into the meeting, and you cannot overnight suddenly become very calm like saint and all. Uh,
Hmm.
so what you can do is that you can one most effective time tested technique is pause. What I did just now, pause.
Hmm.
And there is a scientific reason. What is that?
Hmm.
भगवान ने हमें ऐसे बनाया है कि we have somewhere behind this there is a brain called amygdala. It's an ancient brain.
Okay.
It is our that was basically
Hmm.
for fight and flight mode. Suddenly you see something, you see a tiger, you run away. Okay, so and our this is prefrontal cortex, this is thinking brain. तो जो भी चीजें हमें दिखती है, whatever we see, whatever information comes first strikes the amygdala. We fight, fight, react it, and then slowly the information comes to the prefrontal cortex, and then we start thinking. So when you pause, it allows time for the information to flow from amygdala to prefrontal cortex. So that is why you pause. Take time, take a deep breath, relax, and then that is how you regulate. In fact, as you are aware that I have written a book on mindfulness in daily life. So I have told many techniques about how do we control ourselves, how do we remain calm and all. And it's very, I've given very small examples, day to day life. If readers would like to see, it's available on Amazon, Flipkart is there. So one is self control. The next about self management is transparency. Now, see, as a leader, okay, you have to be not only honest, but it should be visible. Your integrity should be visible. People should trust you. It's only when you display a high degree of I mean, honesty has no degree. It is honesty or dishonest. Somebody says, "Okay, I'm highly honest." No, nothing. Honesty is honesty. That's it. So integrity also cannot be graded. Integrity, honesty, trustworthy. That is one thing. Another impact of self is adaptability. Uh, you should not be very rigid. You should be flexible, changing situations to overcome obstacles and all. That is very essential. Then another is achievement. Now, see, when I'm talking about achievement, I'm not talking about कि आपने कितनी life in policy की है, कितना target हासिल किया, कितना customer लाया. No, I'm not talking about that. Achievement is self excellence. कि Prashant, are you better version of yourself compared to yesterday? Prashant 1.5, version 1.6, version 1. Every day you improve yourself. Self excellence, that is an achievement I'm talking about. So when you do that using integrity, honesty, you improve yourself and you become a role model. Another thing about is initiative, that is ready to act. भाई मेरा काम नहीं है, हमारा काम है, हम करेंगे. So and to seize the opportunity. And a very important thing is optimism, seeing the right side, see positive side. क्या होगा कल, छोड़िए, आप काम कीजिए. एंड इट इज, so when we plan something it will definitely be successful. तो ये जो एटीट्यूड है, so these are all personal competencies. And with that, the other group is social competency. Now social competency is social awareness. It's just knowing ki what's going beneath the surface, ki andar kya chal raha hai. Now one thing very important in this is empathy, कि उसके मन में क्या बीत रही है, what is he or she going through, what is happening to her. So you have to understand people, you have to put yourself in their shoes, try to understand emotions, your team's emotions. So that sense empathy is very important. And empathy is of two three types, which I will discuss sometime again if you call me on the technical details. But one very important thing which I want participants to know is a new concept called self empathy is emerging. And I'll give you one example is हमारे especially the mothers at home, especially the working mothers, I mean hats off to them. They give the 100% at office, then they come back home, then look after the children, look after the husband, in-laws, apna, and they drain out, ultimately they collapse. My message to them is develop self empathy, कि अपने आप पे भी रहम खाओ and take some rest, say enough is enough. Okay, so that's very important. And the other part is organizational awareness. Now this is very very important. When you are a leader, or even everybody, you must, when you're new to the organization, or you may not be new to the organization, you may be new to the branch, you may be new to the general office. See, whatever organization you belong to, whichever organization, whichever, you may have a large culture, but there is a subculture in every organization. Okay. So wherever you posted, suppose at a branch level, you may be going general, then you head office. Every year you have to understand ki how decisions are taken, not just on paper but in practice. There are so many things you have to understand. And or India में there's something called जुगाड़, वो चलता ही है. As long as it is honest and in the public interest. Okay, sometimes you have to set aside rule book, so that we have to see the larger picture. Then every organization, every branch will have some informal network रहता ही है. You have to understand that कि who influences whom, कौन किसको influence करता है, उस किसकी power dynamics. Sometimes you know the power dynamics may lie somewhere down in the hierarchies. Okay, and most important is कौन सा बंदा who quietly blocks the progress. This you need to understand. Okay, and then next is emotional undercurrents, ki what truly feel with when they open up. I'll just I'll give you a very simple example of that. Now see, suppose you are in a meeting, आप review ले रहे हो, and normally in a very competitive environment and all, there is always a one man up and ship चलता रहता है कि हमने ये किया, dim खाना, and all the people say. Now as a leader you have to notice each and every team member, पता कीजिए, and you may suddenly feel uh, somebody is silent, somebody is not asking question, or there could be laughter, some nervous laughter. So you have to be very aware of that. Now say for example meeting chal raha hai, then you see one particular lady may be very quiet, and say her name could be Priya. So Priya you have been thinking a lot about, क्योंकि वो चुपचाप है ना. So I see that you have been thinking a lot about it. I would like to hear from you also. ये जो आपने इसको opportunity दे दी, तो बाकी जो one man upmanship कर रहे थे, they are sidelined. So you have to bring them up. So this single act of emotion, that single act of noticing, is the hallmark of social awareness. And next component comes is relationship management. It has got several components like inspirational leadership. Now, see, leader, you should inspire you, not dictate you, not instruct you, not order you. It should inspire you. So, and inspiring as a leader, you should be inspiring for a purpose and a self pride, nahi, but group pride, pride for the organization. See, it's always said that you should be proud of the country you belong to. But again, if you add little further, it's better if the country is proud of having you. तो ऐसा कुछ inspiration. Then as a leader, you should be able to influence. Okay. Now again, it did not be that key top leader only can influence. They have the position to influence, but as even a down below also, if you're able to influence, that is what we call leadership from the bottom. So and that happens when you create cooperation through trust. You do then building capabilities, confidence of the workers कि आप उनको कैसे उनको groom करते हो. And you should not compete with them. Sometimes this leaders try to compete with their team members. भाई आप already you are up, why should you compete? कोई कुछ नोट लिखता है उसको काट छाट के अपने हिसाब से उसी का नोट लिख के आगे बढ़ा देता है. वो कुछ प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया उसको काट छाट के उसी का प्रोजेक्ट अपना बना लेता है. That doesn't work. And very important is you should become a change catalyst. Okay, driving positive adoption whenever see constantly new changes are coming up. So you should be the one to take a initiative. One of the very important rule is conflict management. That is, turning disagreement into understanding, building bonds, teamwork, collaboration. So these are the things is very important as a social awareness. Now, one example I often talk about, how leaders they link effort of an individual to show how impact it makes in organization. Now, I have read this story somewhere. I do not know how far is it true, but whatever it is, it was very nice. So I want to share with you. It may be Boeing or Airbus, which company I do not know. It's a CEO used to go around the workers place way back 60 70 years back. उनके वर्कर क्वार्टर्स में जाते थे and just to listen कि क्या conversation चल रहा, what they going to. Then he overheard कि one fellow grumbling drunk and telling his wife, अरे I'm doing useless work, मैं तो कुछ काम ही नहीं करता हूँ. Only I'm doing driving screwdriver, screw चलाता हूँ. It doesn't work. He heard. After a few months, they were launching a new aircraft, some new aircraft, and there was all ready, and then big dignitaries there on the field. And when it was about good to go, suddenly the pilot reported some technical snag, and they found out the couple of screw of the left wing was loose. Then immediately they found out who was the worker responsible. He was called and he was asked to tighten the screw, and the flight took off. And the CEO turned towards him and said, "This is your importance." So that's how leaders, make people feel their importance. That's the beauty of that. So now, to so as if you are an emotionally intelligent leader, okay, one punchline I always tell people, and you apply it in your personal life also. Praise your people lavishly in public, but admonish in private. उसको गाली गलौज करना है, डांटना तो अकेले में. The idea is not to insult him, but to rectification. So praise in public. Yeah. Now to summarize, to about emotional intelligence. So just follow four steps. Self-awareness, that is know your emotion. Self-management, control your emotions. Self-awareness, recognize emotions of the other, the surroundings, environment kaisa hai, and relationship management is use all this understanding for the stronger connection and to build a stronger bonding. So
Right.
thank you. So
Thank you, Kishore.
so if there's any question on that, if otherwise we can, I will answer the question which you asked. I just wrote it down. Can you repeat the question? What you asked?
Yes, sure,
Uh,
sure,
uh,
sure. So now, thank you first of all for explaining what emotional intelligence is, and thank you
mm,
for giving us the details of all the components of it. What was very new was self empathy, and I'm realizing how important that is,
it
because a
is.
lot of time empathy gets spoken about from
Mm,
understanding others' point of view, but I have never heard anyone talk about empathy from self point of view. Okay, you also need it, and you don't have to wait for somebody else to give it to you. So I think it's a very important thing. Self love के बारे में बहुत बात की जाती है, but to see it from an empathy point of view, I think changes things and brings in a very stronger perspective. So thank you for bringing that forward.
So I'll talk about now some leadership position for 4 decades. You said. Can you repeat the
Yes,
question?
yes, yes, yes. So, you've been in leadership for a very long time. So, I want to understand, according to you, what is the role of emotional intelligence in leadership?
Oh, good. It was the expected question on the expected line. This is the common question people they ask, uh, and it's very interesting. Now, see, after spending more than 4 decades in, 4 decades I've worked, and 3 decades maybe leadership role, because otherwise I was junior at that time, not that high. So one thing I realized is leadership isn't really about the power or the position. It is emotional connection. Okay. Now, emotionally intelligent leaders. So I will use the term EI leaders just to save the time. They remember they turn emotion into connection and connection into commitment. तो उनसे चिल्ला के commitment नहीं लेता वो बंदा. They do it through love. I mean, and see, instructions you can give through your tongue, this one, but connection you build from here. Okay. And when somebody heart to heart connection जब हो जाती है ना, वो बंदा आपके लिए जान दे देगा. So that is what is emotion. I mean, that commitment they bring out. And you will agree that commitment can never come from here. It will always come from here. So that is what emotional intelligence leader does. Now, see, one more thing. Now, if somebody is in a higher position, now because of that position, he has the maximum opportunity to influence people, right? Now, see, higher the position, higher your power to influence the moods of the collective emotion of the entire group. Okay, now the honorable prime minister can swing the mood of the entire nation, or the governor reserve bank can swing the entire mood of the banking sector, RBI, so on and so forth, coming down to the lowest level. Now, a leader who is emotionally intelligent will use this. Okay, he will swing the mood of the entire group towards range of enthusiasm, and the performance goes up. Else, if he doesn't is a non-EI, okay, uh, I mean, he will say towards anxiety, and maybe the results will be the opposite. So that is there. I've seen that personally, and again personally I've seen कि आपकी जो title है, I was a regional director or a chief general manager or a secretary finance or director, good positions. Now वो बंदा आपको आपकी ट्रांसफर के बाद कितनी बार सलाम करता है, या आपके रिटायरमेंट के बाद कितनी बार सलाम करता है, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. सो रिमेंबर, people don't follow you for your title. Now see, interestingly, 2 months back when I was launching a book in Calcutta, I had sent out a message to many people, and there were large number of people came down, and they were talking about me. One general manager said ki sir, you have retired more than 1.5 years ho gaya hai, how come so many people came? Okay, so that is what is, they don't follow you because your title. They follow you because they feel that when you are in power, or when you are in power, they feel seen, heard, valued as a human being, as a team member. And that's what EI brings to leadership. Okay, so again, coming back to the self-awareness and all. So as a leader, I have seen that one who is aware about his emotions can and knows the blind spots, can understand oneself, can always take a better decision. And I've seen that the one who has got a self-regulation, one who can stay calm under the pressure in crisis, I've seen, they do perform better. And remember one thing is, in every crisis that I've handled, okay, I've seen that my team takes cue from my tone, and I myself have taken cue from the tone of my bosses. Uh, when I was not emotionally intelligent, later when I became emotionally intelligent, maybe I used to balance myself. Okay. Now, simple example, in state crisis, हाँ, अब यदि घर पे कुछ क्राइसिस, ऑफिस क्राइसिस हुआ जो सबसे बड़ा है, यदि वो चिल्लाने लगा, आग 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 से भी चिल्लाएगा. Okay, he and Suppose, say for example, I'll take another example. Say, uh, say suppose द एमडी ऑफ ए कंपनी ने उसके एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर को झाड़ दिया, बिल्कुल लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर। ईडी विल नॉट कीप, वो इमीडिएटली फोन उठा के सीजीएम को झाड़ेगा और वो ब्रांच लेवल तक आ जाएगा। So they take cue from that. But on the contrary, if suppose he would have kept calm and communicated very in dignified manner, maybe that would have held on. So tone from the top is very, very important. So uh, and one interesting thing is पे है तो होता है कि suppose if you are not a EI leader, and I have seen that, and I was also part of it, is see, suppose if you're not emotionally intelligent, if you're impatient, and if you cannot control emotions, if you're angry, stressed out always, what happens is there is he is official leader, there will be an informal unofficial leader. How does it happen? See, there was a situation when there was a huge pressure on my department because of the public outcry for which we were not responsible, and the mood was demoralized, and he was not my boss was not forthcoming, so I couldn't sit. I told him, let's go and speak to the group and all, because they demoralized. He said, no, you do it. So what I did was I called people all in the hall and I spoke to them, pep talk I gave and all, and the moral got boosted. Now in every organization what happens is that कि जब सब बम्बार्ड करता है कि एक या दो बंदा रहता है जो कहता है यार कोई बात नहीं है, let us take it lightly, he becomes calming center and all. And what happens in gradually people start going to him. Okay, so he becomes unofficial leader. Okay, and when there is an unofficial leader, remember, unofficially the power center shifts. So that should not happen. So in order not to happen, you have to be emotionally intelligent, keep calm and all. This is my personal observation. People may disagree. Now, coming to as a leader, what I've seen as a social awareness. Now, see, again, I've said already they can move the influence of the group. Now, if I'll tell you a very simple example, smile. मैं कहता हूँ smile करो. People smiling is very good and all. I keep this lesson. Smile as long as smile कहते हैं. अब लिटिल अवे फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक, एक बार यही हम सिखाते लोग को सिखाते रहते हैं। तो एक बार क्या हुआ, एक बंदा जो है स्माइल करते रहता था। बीवी कहती तुम स्माइल कर, तो बोले सर ने सिखाया हमको स्माइल करना, इट इज अ वेरी इन्फेक्शियस, इट इज अ गुड। तो वंस इन देयर एनिवर्सरी दे वेंट फॉर अ डिनर, एंड then when they were coming out, so they came across another lady, and she gave a very deep smile and this fellow returned the smile. बीवी हो गई नाराज, बोलते बताइए क्यों स्माइल किया आपने? बोलते नहीं नहीं ऐसे ही सर ने सिखाया था। नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये सर वाली स्माइल नहीं है, ये कोई दूसरा स्माइल है। क्यों स्माइल किया, कौन है वो? दो तीन बार पूछने के बाद कि यार तुम क्यों परेशान कर रहे हो, मुझे बताना ऐसे ही। मतलब परेशान, तुम उस लेडी के साथ स्माइल करो, मुझे परेशान होनी चाहिए, और तुम कैसे परेशान होगे, बताओ क्यों परेशान हो? बोलता अरे यार मैं परेशान इसलिए हूं कि उसको क्या बताऊं कि तुम कौन हो। So anyway, so just to make the mood lighter, so smile is very important. तो हम जब सिखाते हैं तो some people they don't take the teaching entirely, their smiles is gender sensitive, तो केवल एक पर्टिकुलर जेंडर को देख के स्माइल करता है। एनीवे, जोक्स अपार्ट, स्माइल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आप जब जाते ऑफिस में एज ए बॉस, यू जस्ट स्माइल एट एवरीबॉडी, आपको मूड ही बिल्कुल चेंज हो जाएगा। एंड मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन द स्माइल इज लाफ। आई टेल यू, व्हेन आई वाज इन सर्विस, मेरे कमरे से जो भी निकलता था वो ऐसे निकलता था, ऐसे। और कभी कभी सम पीपल से कि सर अब बस हो गया, माय चीन इज माय, मेरा गाल दुख रहा है। So laughter, according to me, is it's a indication, it's an indication of trustworthiness, openness. Now between laughter and smile, uh, smile can be faked, but laughter को fake करना बड़ा मुश्किल है, you cannot fake it. So remember, I always say, in any setting, laughter is a proxy indicator of group cohesiveness, कि जितना ऊंचा हंसी उतना ही ग्रुप में उतने बॉन्डिंग है। So that can come only from emotion intelligent leader, कि वो कोई बंदा सोचता है, some people think if I smile and if I mix with the crowd, maybe people will start disobeying me. बिल्कुल गलत, वो गलत सोच है. इनफैक्ट दे विल obey you out of love. They will obey you out of love and commitment. So, and this is all about, and finally about relationship management is that, see, I can only say I have seen people, uh, maybe see, if you are a very high intellect and all, very reserved, very targeting, you can achieve targets. You can achieve targets. There's no, but emotionally intelligent builds team that stay together and grow together. So in the long term, if you see, sustain growing. For the growth of organization, for sustainability, EI leaders will always do that. Uh, I'll just give you two examples. Uh, uh, okay, now take for example, another my ideal is Mr. Ratan Tata. Huh. He's my idol, and I'll compare it with. Okay, I'll not take his name, Mr. X. अब जब मैं बताऊंगा तो शायद आपको पता चली जाएगी कि मिस्टर एक्स कौन है. Now, both have brilliant minds. बड़ा अच्छा. Both are visionaries. And both have changed the world in their own ways. But if you look closely, you will see, I mean, they lead in a different way. My beloved leader, Ratanji, led from here. He listened, he connected, he cared for the people. And I'll tell you, people who worked with him just didn't respected him. They loved him. Now, okay, that reminds me one thing. My retirement farewell started around 5:45 p.m. and it went up to 1 a.m. in the morning. Okay, you'll be surprised to know. And the ladies were also there. They didn't go back home. So Sabi, they were saying one after another. They were everybody praises during this one. Or one, एक बंदे का turn आया. So he said कि sir, people have already said so many things. Anyhow, I have only three sentences to tell to you. Okay, and beyond that, I cannot say. I will cry. You know what he said? He said, "Sir, I love you. Sir, I love you. Sir, we love you." Three sentences. And what happened thereafter was, and there were about 10, 15 people more spoke after that. Everybody, irrespective of the gender, ended their speech by saying, "Sir, I love you. Sir, we love you." So this is what happens. Okay, when you look after the people. Some people used to walk into my office and say कि अरे आपका तो टेबल बिल्कुल साफ है. तो मैं कहता कि क्या करें, मेरे दिमाग भी साफ ही है, कुछ है ही नहीं दिमाग में. Now, as a leader, I feel that, see, when you reach the top, okay, when you reach the top, and I've said this to others also, your duty is to delegate, guide, and look after the people. So once one we have a senior management retreat, like we meet governor once annually, where all senior people they meet. So one of the deputy governor was by interacting with the CGMs, regional directors. So ask what you're doing, or some what is your profile. He was asking. So when my turn came. I said he asked me, so what do you do, Mr. Pariyar? I told him, sir, I look after my people. That's it. सो एंड द टॉप, जो जो टॉप लीडर में क्या करता है, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी क्या करते हैं, ही ओनली गिव स्पीचेस. सो एट द टॉप ओनली यू गिव स्पीचेस. You don't put up a note, you just simply approve or disapprove, you listen to the people. So there, as an emotional intelligent leader, your main duty is to look after the people. If you look after them well, you don't have to do anything. आराम से अपनी जिंदगी बिताइए. That's it. So yeah, that's what Ratan Tata also used to do. Now, now if you come back to see if he, when there was a tragedy 26/11, he went and spoke personally to the family members. He spoke with every people, and the kind of humanness he showed was tremendous. Now coming back to the other religion, Mr. X, he's also genius, no questions about that. He dreams of the high modern car, okay, and he has transformed that by technology. But he is known to be impatient, at times harsh. demands perfection, often at a cost. His cars have taken his stock very, very high. But behind that success, the stories of exhaustion, burnout, fear of failure, stress. People admire him for whatever he is, but don't feel safe under his leadership. That is, if you are a non-AI. So, if those who are listening to this conversation, I would leave it to them between two, what kind of legacy you would like to leave. I'm with Mr. Ratan Tata. The choice is yours. What you want to do. So that is what I end to my question you have. If you have any question to ask, you can ask me. Otherwise, I can keep on going and going. So,
I know.
yeah,
But I must say, Mr. Pariyar, as much as your responses had a lot for us to learn, I'm sure the audiences would agree. It's also important to see how you are communicating those learnings to us in a manner where we are feeling very comfortable and at ease in absorbing what you are sharing, and we are feeling that connection with you. I don't personally know you, but in just few moments I can feel connected with you. And you said something very nice, and I immediately caught myself doing that when you said it. The journey from smile to laughter, and the difference between smile and laughter. And I realized that happened on this conversation as well. We started with smiles, and then there are a couple of instances where I laughed, and
yeah.
it
You
was a
laughed very
journey.
loudly.
Yeah,
You
and
laughed
it was
very
a
loudly.
journey.
अच्छा guy वो smiling वाला बंदा आप तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं नहीं.
Okay, ठीक है.
I think
Good.
that journey from smile to laughter is something I've heard for the very first time, and it's so powerful. How powerful smile is, but how smile can be faked, but how laughter is the proof or evidence of the cohesiveness of a unit,
Yes.
of a team. And the louder the laughter,
The
better the
more the bonding.
cohesiveness.
हाँ.
Bonding is with the team, and that's so powerful. We don't realize that, and that's a very good reflection point.
घर
I
पे भी
think
वही है.
for everyone. बिल्कुल,
The same thing
बिल्कुल,
happens in the house also.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
So that I tell that this is a proxy indicator कि उनकी जब आपको
Wonderful.
जा रहे हो कहीं रास्ते पे कहीं किसी डिपार्टमेंट से पास कर वहां पे बहुत हंसी मजाक ठहाका चल रहा है, उसका मतलब वहां पे
Mm,
बॉन्डिंग है.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. Right. And the example that you gave between two different kind of leaders, right? Both are delivering results, but their approach to leadership is different.
Right.
Safety of people. People are working in both the places, right? Both have thousands of employees working for them. But how
And
do
the
you
Mr.
feel
X
as a
is
person?
Mr. X has made much more money than Mr. Tata.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as you said, it's up to the people who are listening to us to see what they relate to, what they connect to, and what can they take from Mr. Tata, what can they learn from Mr. X. Maybe they will build X plus Y, something new altogether, which will have a combination of both. All right. So great. So now, you mentioned this in your response, but I would want to go deeper into it. It's about high pressure situations. You said you
Okay.
faced it as well. So leaders often face high pressure situations, and how can self awareness help them manage these emotions to take balanced decisions?
अच्छा, good question. Okay, I often in my talks I say ये जो self awareness है ना, it's an antenna of a leader. If self awareness is not there, then the leader becomes a prisoner of their own emotion. वो emotion उसको grip कर जाता है. So self awareness is very important. I'll just give you example, and then it will be clear. So let's go back to mm, uh, uh, 2011 World Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
Stadium packed,
Mm-hmm.
India losing early wickets, crowds getting restless, nation, entire nation anxious, and under that pressure, जितने भी बड़ा captain हो, okay, they would have panicked. But धोनी तो धोनी है, Mr. Cool. Okay, he was just observing. He was not reacting. He knew the team's mindset and his own mindset. Suddenly, what he did, since he was calm, probably he took a decision which everybody was surprised. Okay, he promoted himself in the batting order. Okay, and the rest is history.
Hmm.
We lifted World Cup, I think, after 28 years.
Hmm.
So this self-awareness is very, very important when you talk about, under pressure situation. This
Hmm.
self-awareness allows you to know your strengths, staying emotionally balanced, and acting from clarity, not fear. So I'll give you another example, simple example, is two students, both brilliant, and दोनों का 98-99% होते रहता है, they're competing.
Hmm. Hmm.
One is emotionally intelligent, the other is not. Meaning, the one is not nervous in the examination, the other is very nervous. Who is likely to perform better? Obviously, the one who is not nervous. Now,
Nervous.
see, yes. So that is what is EI, under pressure.
Hmm.
Now, okay, that reminds me. Now, I just give the example of Shoaib Malik. Okay, 2009 World Cup, T20 World Cup. Uh, at the time, Pakistan had the best of the best team. But
Hmm.
this guy was impulsive. He could not handle pressure. But they lacked emotional cohesion, and he used to buckle under pressure. At times, became withdrawn. But the team went heavier. They were unmotivated. After one match, he was, I think, replaced by Yunus Khan. The opposite. He was very calm, positive, and that same team, the captain different, and they lifted, I think, T20 2009 World Cup. So,
Hmm.
so it is if you the awareness is very, very important. Uh, I'll tell you one incident. I was at the time in charge of your complaint department, and there was one particular public sector bank which was they had a very huge pendency. So I wanted to have a meeting with the GM. तो हमने उनको फ़ोन करने की कोशिश की, तो उनके पीएस ने कहा कि वो साहब बिज़ी है। So my PS tried to contact, he didn't refuse. Then we sent out a mail to him that we would like to have a meeting. No response. Or he's out of town. So after some time, I had a lot of pressure in me. कि when I was losing face in presence of my team. बोले साहब वो
Hmm.
तो you're RBI और वो बंदा आपको घास भी नहीं डाल रहा है.
Hmm.
But I get cool. I smiled and said, no worry, don't. आप चिंता मत करो. What you do is that you keep sending mail. अभी आप महीने हफ्ते में 2 डालते थे, अभी एवरीडे 1 डाला करो कि रिमाइंडर करो. And whenever we call meeting, if he says he's out of station, so what we have is that we have our own way of finding out whether he's in the station or not. So we
Okay.
gathered that for a period of 2 months. Then one day I told my team, now you tell informally, you communicate to their team informally. यार हमारा जो जीएम है ना बड़ा चालू आदमी है, मतलब मालूम है क्या है, ये जो मेल भेज रहा तुम लोग रिप्लाई नहीं दे रहे, यू नॉट रिप्लाइंग. ओके, ही इज क्वाइटली गैदरिंग एविडेंस अगेंस्ट हिम, the evidence to show that when he was in office, but he said he was not in office, that also he has kept a log of that, and he's going to use that evidence for non-compliance and insubordination. That is what he was talking to us. We since we are team, so we just wanted to tell you informally. उसने 11:30 के करीब बताया, शाम को 3 बजे फोन आ गया, वी वांट टू मीट यू. So I said, okay. Next day, I said, when? I said, tomorrow, 10:15. And that meeting lasted for not more than 11 minutes. They came at around 10:5, dressed up in suit and all, to my room. I said, let's meet in the conference room, mini conference. I told my team, take them there. Exactly at 10:15, I entered. I sat down. I said, thank you, gentlemen, for coming, taking your time out and all. And I understand you're very busy, so I'll keep it very short and simple. Is you're supposed to reply to the complaints within 15 days. Suppose if you don't do that, I pointed out the AGM, I said, you'll have to reply. Then if it doesn't come within 25 days, I pointed out DGM, you have to come and explain me the reason. Okay, let's sort it out because I want to know what problem you're facing. So let's sort it out. And in case if I don't get reply within 30 days, then I pointed out at GM and said, sir, you have to come and explain me and let's sort it out. Now you choose who wants to come and meet me. The meeting ends.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Next day, say all started, flowing. and that was a huge complaint that was got resolved. So had I not buckled under pressure, maybe I would have shouted at him, maybe I would have sinned. It wouldn't have worked. So keeping
Hmm.
calm, you will be able to generate more ideas to deal with such situations.
True.
So
True.
any
Beautiful. You know how you shared these learnings through your personal experiences. You know, be it of Dhoni, be it of the Pakistan team, be it your own experiences at work, and how powerfully it tells us that the power of calmness. A lot of times we don't realize. Initially in our conversation, you also spoke about the pause. So I'm just in my mind connecting the two, right? That
pause is
pause that you
very
spoke
important.
about,
Yeah,
that
it's
also
very
brings that
important.
sense of calmness, right?
I may be sounding I'm promoting my book. Well, I don't need to because already sold about more than 2,000 copies in couple of months. But that has really helped many people.
Hmm.
So people can buy mindfulness in daily life by Kishore Pariyar there. Okay, so any
Super.
other question you have? How long we'll be here? Ah,
Yeah, so I have one last question for you.
hmm,
And since you're talking about your experiences, now
hmm,
looking back, is
hmm.
there any moment, Mr. Pariyar, when you realize that leadership is more about emotional connection than power or position?
Well, that is always I have realized it that it's like see when we talk about now leaders mood is a weather system किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में
Okay. Hmm.
हाँ, मतलब उनका मूड अच्छा है तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मूड अच्छा है, उनका मूड बुरा है तो बारिश होने वाली है, गड़बड़ा, देयर विल बी लॉट ऑफ थंडर स्टॉर्म एंड ऑल. So it's just like a weather station. Now,
Hmm.
okay, here I'll give you example. One video was going around in social media about one particular
Hmm.
bank official howling, not shouting, howling at.
Hmm.
I do not know whether you have seen or not. Literally
Yeah, yeah.
howling.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now, if you look at him, uh, he was an achiever. There's no doubt about it. Okay,
Hmm.
but his anger filled the room. Then what
Hmm.
happened? The team stops communicating. The productivity don't go up. I mean, so like his mood has adversely influenced the entire thing. Now, just imagine. अब ये जो episode हुआ when it went to circulation all, he also might have seen that video. अब मुझे लगता है कि if I was in his place, I would have found myself like a big joker. I would like look like a
Hmm.
monkey shouting at people. So next time when you shout at somebody, okay, you just put a mirror and see how you look. That is self-awareness. So your mood can break a team or make a team. So that's very, very important. Like so that emotions is very, very important there. Don't play with the emotion of the people and don't keep your emotions very calm, and
Hmm.
negative mood can destroy. So in one word I can say that when leader burns hot with anger, the team works in shadows of fear and not light of trust.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
today I was just going through paper, and there was a big story about Microsoft making huge profit and all. Now, when
Hmm.
Satya Nadella took charge of this Microsoft, there was a the environment was very competitive, and the team worked in silos. They were afraid and all. Now, when he took charge, uh, he just said one sentence: "We need to shift from a culture of know it all to learn it all." Okay, and that changed the entire.
Hmm.
Now within few years, okay, he listened more. And he said कि गलती आप कीजिए. I also tell my people, गलती कीजिए, आप गलती नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे सीखेंगे. He encouraged mistakes as a
Hmm.
part of learning. Okay, he celebrated collaboration instead of competition. Well, I don't want competition, I want collaboration. Let's celebrate collaboration. So what happens is because of this statement, because of the entire emotions, the entire mood of the organization changed.
Shifts. Hmm.
And now, see again, when we talk about emotion, I'll give you another instance. Now, say for example, a person he got firing from the top, okay, and He's not empathetic. His emotions he is not able to control. Jesse he entered the office, said, "Meeting bulao sabko, call everybody for the meeting." And then when the meeting assembled, he just barged in. He started firing left, right, and said, "What kind of persons you are? You are not able to understand. What is my? How did you could you make that mistake? Why the presentation was ready on time? I made a fool of it myself." Blasted, and he pointed out at the person and said, "You're the responsible. I'll hold you." The entire team goes silent, and thereafter they're too afraid to speak. The team breaks down, and next time they will not tell you the reason. They will hide.
Hmm.
Situation, EI leader who is emotional intelligent faces same situation, frame same firing from the top. Okay, let's say again, say any names. Suppose again Priya. So she is about to walk out of a cabin to address. He said, "Okay, call everybody." She's about to walk out. Then बोला, अरे मैं किशोर सर का वो अटेंड किया था क्लास. He told me to check mood check. So she checks her mood. Okay, I'm not well. I'm angry. Let me cool down. Pause. How I'm feeling? I'm feeling better. I'll see this. I'm having a negative emotion. Is it useful for me? No, 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 it's not useful. It's not useful for my decision. Calm down more. So when you're ready, okay, and then you decide, okay, now I'll go and not shout. Remember,
Hmm.
words are very powerful. आप जो शब्द इस्तेमाल करती हो ना, बड़ा पावर रहता है. That will lead you. अब यदि बोल के इसको तो मैं झाड़ूंगी, I'll fire. Oh, you'll stand up fighting. Instead of that, I will try to understand you. You'll try to understand. Okay.
Hmm.
सी कहते हैं कि भगवान ने शरीर की हर जगह पे हड्डी डाल रखा है. अब अपने शरीर पे कितनी हड्डी है तो डॉक्टर मुन्ना भाई को पूछना पड़ेगा, वो तोड़ के बता देगा आपको. ओके. बट इफ यू सी, भगवान ने जानबूझ के जीभ में हड्डी नहीं डाली ताकि आप नरम बोले.
Hmm.
ओके. सो शी चेक्स, शी गोज टू द रूम एंड शी सेज, लुक, आई एम अपसेट, बट आई डो नॉट वांट टू नो who did it, what did it. I just want to know what is the problem, issue क्या है,
Hmm.
and let us all find out the solution. And if you want anything, if you want support, anything you want, ideas and all, I'll give you. People are willing to give ideas also. तो मार्गदर्शन
Hmm.
जिसे, बट अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि जो मार्गदर्शन ढूंढता है तो लोग कहते हैं कि भाई भाई साहब, दर्शन तो मैं दे दूंगा, मार्ग खुद ब खुद ढूंढ लेना. वो भी नहीं चलता है. सो you have to guide them. So I'm willing to guide.
Yes.
Then suddenly one lady said, "Ki, Madam, it is me. Say, I could not complete it, and that is the reason I could not review it properly. I missed out." She said, "Okay, why? My child was hospitalized. I was sick. Okay, that's fine." Then the next sentence, she says, "Will wonder you." She said, "Let us set aside this issue of presentation for a while. Now tell me, how is your child? Do you want to take care? Do you want to leave? If you want to leave, you take leave. The team will work from where you kept it, will carry it forward. You will continue to be in the team. If necessary, we'll call and talk to over the phone, but you look after the child."
Hmm.
And then she says, "When I walked in, I was upset. But now I'm more upset than I was. You know why? It's because you didn't tell me that your child is sick and you're struggling.
Hmm.
Remember, we are family. Okay, if in that situation, you should have called up to me and said, "Ki, ma'am, I'm going through this phase and all." We would have all helped you out. So, इतना उन्होंने कहा, and the lady starts weeping. The entire the the mood of the room changes.
Hmm.
Maybe a lady walks up to her and says, "Pats her." But then the group dynamic changes.
Hmm.
Everybody comes forward to help her, and they come out with a brilliant presentation. वही सिचुएशन है. So that's where the emotions play very very important role. And before I close, I would like to say that the research says that 70% team's emotional tone is reflection of updates on leaders behavior. Okay. So a composed leader creates courage, a chaotic leader will create confusion. So choice is yours, what kind of leadership you would like to be.
Thank you, Mr. Warrior. With everything that you said, with the stories that you mentioned, with the anecdotes that you shared, and in such an ease and humorous way that you put things forward, I'm sure everybody in the audience uh, can surely get the message that we are trying to drive. That emotional intelligence is a strategic advantage. It's not just a soft skill to have. And with everything that Mr. Pariyar said, it becomes so clear that how important it is for us to connect with each other as humans, and how important it becomes from a business point of view as well. So, thank you, Mr. Pariyar, for your time today. Thank you so much for everything that you shared. It was wonderful having you on the show. And everybody in the audience, thank you for your time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the comments that came through. If you have any questions, that you have in your mind that you would like to ask based on what Mr. Pariyar shared, or beyond that as well, when it comes to emotional intelligence and leadership, feel free to drop comments, on LinkedIn, or you can also drop comments or messages directly to Mr. Pariyar. I'm sure he would be more than happy to help you out because he's on this mission of driving emotional intelligence, and I can see how much he wants this change to happen. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you once again, Mr. Pariyar. You have a
Thank
wonderful weekend,
Yeah, thank you for the
and
opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. And
you're welcome. Thank you so much.
last message I wanted to share is that people often ask me, is it possible to become EI? I just want to say that your IQ level stops at age of 16, but EI can grow. And initially it may be difficult and all, but I can just say कि मंजिलें मिलते हैं भटकते ही सही, भाई साहब गुमराह तो वो होते जो घर से निकलते नहीं. नमस्कार.
वेरी वेल सेड, वेरी वेल सेड, एंड बहुत बहुत नमस्कार आपको और आप सबको भी जो हमारा शो देखते हैं। तो अब हम अगले हफ्ते मिलेंगे फिर से एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक के साथ, एक इंटरेस्टिंग लीडर के साथ, और कुछ और लीडरशिप इनसाइट्स को समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। तब तक थैंक यू, धन्यवाद, हैव अ ग्रेट वीकेंड।